Hello. So I've been working on this film for almost 3 years now, and just want to let you know that try to see beyond what you see on the image. No, it's not a joke, because it's a metaphor for a lot of things, so you have to look for them. All right? Thank you for the film. So, any questions? Yes.
What your rendering process? What type of software did you use?
The animation was done in a software called Messiah Studio, which is an animation software, has no modeling. The modeling was done in a very inexpensive package called Carrera 3D, and then they transferred OBJ files to be rigged in Messiah. They were animated in Messiah, and then exported back to Carrera, which had a plugin, a toon renderer, that did the line and the flat colors. And then I wrote a Photoshop action to treat the line so it looks more like a graphic line than a wire that goes around the character, which didn't look good. And then everything was composed on After Effects.
The vibrancy of the blood, was that a Palestinian thing, or was that a...
No, it was just pure red out of the reddest red you can get as a color.
Right. Nice effect.
Thank you. Yes.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Of course, I think for most of us, we understand a little bit what the metaphor is, but I want to ask, what was your inspiration? How did you start thinking of the story, or what inspired you to write this?
Yeah, there is a crisis happening in Europe, and it's basically an economic crisis, but everything kind of starts like an economic crisis. Anyway, so I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and one day, I think it was like 2000, maybe 11, we were talking about these 10, maybe 10 or 11, I remember. And we talked about how, when you go to a Greek taverna, which is like an outside restaurant, you have to be very aware for your food, because there's all these street cats around that just like wait for the moment to jump up and start eating your food, or they keep asking you to throw them something, and if you don't, the moment you turn, so that's how it started, and there was like some kind of like parallelism of that to the economy and what will happen when the people will stop getting like the basics. So that end up, and he said, why don't you make like something about it? And I said, well, I'll think about it. And then I went in and I wrote the script in one day, basically.
And just a follow-up question, and what would you say the role of the executioner character? I mean, I don't know how...
Oh, yeah, well, we call him the butcher.
The butcher.
Yeah, he's a guy who has a machine. Well, he represents, in general, the system.
Gotcha.
As you can see, the thing cycles, and it cycles as long as there is a system. He's the one who runs the whole. So everyone else is a player. Even the people who eat from the tent are players. They are themselves linked among themselves, so they cannot escape what will happen to them. Yes?
How big was the orchestra? How many players?
Costas.
The orchestra was 70 players. We used full symphonic orchestra, and we recorded it in Bratislava. It was, it's a great thing to use a live orchestra for a short film.
It sounded huge. Did you layer them up? Or?
Yeah. Nasos, he when I told him about this, he was really, keen with the idea of using a live orchestra. And we did it through the internet. Basically, we were here and we were listening to the recording there through a system, Source Connect it's called. And then you give the directions directly to the conductor, and that's how we did it.
But did you layer more? Did you layer them a couple times, or was that only 7 instruments that we were hearing?
It was only in one cue. There was basically I wrote for 2 orchestras, and then we layered. But yeah, most of it is just 70 piece.
You said 70, right?
70, yeah.
70.
70.
Oh,
I'm
that
sorry.
makes more sense.
Sorry. 70. Yeah, 70.
Yeah, actually there is a video that we produce, and it's up on YouTube about the orchestra and how we
Yeah,
did
no,
that.
70.
Yes.
Yes, can you talk a little bit about the creative process behind the music? Like, what was your inspiration? How did you come up with that score?
Yeah, I mean, as Nash said, the film it's a cycle, right? So my first thing was to find a theme that's gonna be at the beginning and at the end, okay? And that was my first, a target. And then if you notice the theme has these sliding strings that go it's like kind of imitation of the cats, and the whole thing evolves at the very end as well. Then I didn't want to do when we were first talking with Nasos, we agreed that we don't want to do the whole thing like a horror action slasher film, so that's why there's some moment with more tonal stuff when he feeds them, the system feeding the pigs, and then when it gets really nasty, then we go into the atonal and aleatoric stuff. And then the other point, when the system goes and slashes the tiger, I didn't want really to play again the what we see on the screen, but the subtext. This kind of an irony that the system again steps in, and it's kind of more dramatic, ironic moment there. So I played more sweet and more dramatic there than the actual what we see on the screen.
Peter.
Hey, Nasos, congratulations, first of all. It's
Thanks.
really nice. I was curious, has it had any exposure in Greece yet?
I just got this DCP done like last week, so I started sending it to various festivals. Now some media has picked up, basically because I knew them, so I told them, I'm doing this. So there is some publicity, mainly in Greece, but it's really early in its festivals cycle, because I just starting now that I have the DCP and the DVDs and the Blu-rays done to sending it around. So this is the first time it's been, first time I see it on the big screen myself.
Wow.
Anyone else? Yes.
Congratulations to both of you. Great job. I just wanted to ask, what was the most challenging part of the film?
If you want to speak technically, the simulations was the most challenging, because neither of the software I was using had any fluid simulation that I was able to make it work. So some of it is done in another package called Blender that has a nice water fluid simulation, and some of it is actually done in After Effects. So. Yes?
This question is brought on by the dedication at the end about your kids enduring.
Yeah.
I want to know the production schedule and how you balance like work, kids.
Well, the production schedule for about, I would say, it wasn't easy, because the kids are like 3.5 years old now. So when I started the movie, they were like half 1 year maybe. I mean, so there was a lot of time that they go to bed around 7, 8. Now they go around 8. So working after that to as late as I can handle it, like 2, 3 o'clock sometimes. For almost a year and a half, we went like that to finish it. It was a lot of work, not the rendering itself, because the method is pretty straightforward. It's just fixing the deformations and walkthroughs and things that you don't see when you animate, and when you compose it, suddenly they don't work. So you have those. This is where I spend most of the time, believe it or not. No one else? Yes.
Do you mind talking about the budget? And
The budget.
Did you self-finance?
Yes, I did self-finance, although all the money went to the music. Honestly, artistically,
I hope it was worth it.
what happened is this, you know, I was, like my previous film, I started doing this on my own. But in some point I ran into some technical problem. There was this plugin, and then from that plugin I get this person who wrote a tutorial about it. And this person in Germany, Eva, you know, really liked the film and what I was doing, so she volunteered to help me. So I finished it with her, but it was a complete volunteer work. She didn't get paid. So all the money was spent to the orchestra, which is a big amount of money, and to the sound, and then to the DCP and the DVDs and stuff like that, and some software also. Yes.
How long did it take to compose the music?
From the beginning, I mean, it took about 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks, but of course this with back and forth, you know, with NASA. I mean, NASA, they have had some really specific, cool, how do you say, directions, and yeah, 2.5 weeks. But of course, it takes longer because then you have to, you know, orchestrate it, record it, mix it, and then dub it to the movie. So the whole process.
No, it took longer. From the beginning of the year, we were working on the music. We did a temp track first, and then.
Well, yeah, but the composition.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Comparing doing your own stuff versus doing your work here, do you find that you have to be more clear? Because the work in DreamWorks is like you have to be crystal clear for a broad audience. Do you find yourself to be more clear with metaphor, or is it like more leeway, or is it?
I mean, if we can do metaphor here, I mean, I don't know if we can do that. I mean, up to a point, I guess. I mean, I realize that not a lot of the things you've seen here is clear to you. I mean, or to anyone, or some, they have significance to me, but might mean nothing to someone else. But you know, that's the nature of this specific film, is to be an allegory of society. So that's what it is. You know, here we kind of do, you know, action adventure comedy stuff. That's definitely not a comedy. Anything else? Oh.
When is the next film coming out?
Well, there's no next film for the moment. I think I'm going to try to spend some time promoting this and taking it to the festivals. And after that, you know, I'm probably going to try something in live action, to be honest.
Or spend time with your children.
Yeah.
Yes. It's pretty good.